The James O'Keefe Media Group recently released a shocking undercover video of a Disney officer revealing their discriminatory tactics against white American men.
We don't want a white person to play this role.
There have been times where, there's no way we're hiring a white man.
Unspoken.
There are times when it's spoken, but
How would they say it?
there's no way we're hiring a white male in this role. They say
Like straight to you? Or
Let's talk about it right now on the Gary Lamb Network.
put down, help the production to budget, and so much of my job is just the negotiating, really. And then other people are doing kind of the drafting of the contracts.
She takes her
So,
Oh wow. So yeah, what's the negotiating like?
I'm like sitting down trying to figure out, okay, what are we gonna pay this actor for this role? What do we think they want?
Oh wow.
Kind of strategize that. Everything from how you produce a show, how you distribute a show, how you exhibit a show, how you market a show, things like that. All of the negotiations and deal-making that related to it.
Yeah.
One, well, actually two of our brave undercover journalist and American swiper investigative reporters met Michael on the dating app Hinge. And aside from this story, which focused on Disney's overt discrimination against white men,
gonna say,
you'll
is
see
this
later
like a
on in this
date?
report,
'Cause
it's
It's
quite
definitely a date.
entertaining. Michael turns out to be quite the ladies' man.
How long have you been on dating out?
Not very long. 2.5
Have you been going out with
Not a lot. Not a lot.
anything worth?
You know what's funny? No.
Let's dig right into Disney's blatant practices of discrimination. If you're wondering how Disney as a company looks at race, gender, and discrimination in the hiring process, about how they recruit and hire talent, look no further.
I think there are times when it's like so front and center. It's like great because that's the focus, Like we have so many shows where we're casting and we're like, yeah, we're not even going to see, certain people for it because we need that particular role to.
So is it intentional that they want they only look for diverse candidates for
At
certain
times,
roles?
Yeah. I think there's certainly a belief that it's just good for society and a big goal. But there's also a belief that, we're going to make more money if we appeal to a wider variety of people. And it's a good thing. We have shareholders too, And so diversity helps with that.
Diversity
No, it
helps
doesn't.
with.
It actually doesn't. See, that's horse manure. That does not help anything. If anything, it makes things a ton worse, right? All right, so let's talk about this real quick. I know what it's like to be passed up for a position that I know I qualify for a lesser participant simply because they either take less money or because they're trying to do this garbage.
Yeah, you show up to a place. Oh, you said you've seen that many times. Oh, you're Gary Lamb.
You're Gary Lamb, right? Mhm.
Oh, hi.
Right. And
The shock face.
but here's the thing, and I noticed that every time I've gotten that shock face, never got the job. Never got it. It didn't matter how good I interviewed.
Overly qualified than all the other interviewees, all the other candidates.
Don't get the job simply because the person was not looking for someone that looks like me. And I'm coming from the hip on this. I don't appreciate any of this from Disney.
Right.
Any of it.
No.
Yes, there are certain groups that might say something to the effect, well, about time.
That's what y'all get.
That's what you get. Now you know what it's like. And I'm like, no, that's the wrong way to look at this. We're trying to fix our country. We're trying to eliminate this mess. Why did blacks fight so hard to become equals, to be considered as equals? Now we are basically, because we're hiring for diversity, we're now discriminating against the very people that we said to treat us fairly.
Right.
That makes no sense.
Yeah. I think that it doesn't help at all because he continued to say, this O'Keefe gentleman, that not the higher up here, that is just, by the way, spilling all the tea, all the beans. If Sing Like a Canary was a person.
Right. Right.
Like, what do you mean?
Right.
I digress on that, but let it all fly.
Yep.
What this gentleman O'Keefe stated was that not only is it Caucasian people, but specifically white men.
Right.
So to me, all that does is divide our country even more than it already is, targeting men.
But does it really? See, that's the reason why
I'll
I
bite.
appreciate James O'Keefe for doing what he's doing. And that's why I'm bringing this to the Gary Lamb Network channel. Because even though this seemed like this is diverse, this is dividing us even further, I think it's bringing us closer.
How so?
Well, now, okay, so you ever saw that the episode when Peter
I know you're not asking me about Family Guy. The only episodes I've ever seen of Family Guy is because you had us watch it.
Yeah, I'm bringing
I
Family
don't
Guy,
know.
but it was a scene where he was basically sentenced to go to a sensitive training with some feminist women. And he fell off
Peter?
the tree. Yeah, he
That
fell
might
off
have
the
must have
tree.
been good.
And basically they said labor pains are like pulling your bottom lip over your head. So he falls off this tree and it get caught on the branch, and it goes over his head. And then he falls down, and the girl says,
Now that you've felt a woman's pain, the learning can begin.
one tear comes out of Peter's eye. So I'm referencing that right now to say, now that you know the pain of a black man, now we can heal, right?
Oh, okay.
I know that's jokey and it's whatever, but the truth of the matter is that this is what I believe is going to bring us together, right? Because I don't want what happened to us to happen to you as a white man. I don't want that.
Right.
What I want
it all to stop.
is for it to stop.
Yeah.
But in the case that this actually brings you closer emotionally, because there's been plenty of times where I've talked to plenty of white men and said, yeah, but you don't understand. They use certain vernacular to discriminate against us.
Like you just said, code
Just
words,
like
the
that.
code words.
and phrases. We're not looking for the usual suspects.
Uh-huh.
Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? We found a better candidate for the position. Or you're overqualified. Overqualified? I've never... I'm overqualified, then pay me a little bit more, but still hire me.
I mean, you're Disney.
Right. The point is that I don't really see this as a divide. I see this as a togetherness. I think that a lot of white men are going to say, because white men have been under attack for quite some time.
Yeah.
They have.
Definitely.
Especially straight white men.
Yes.
Oh my God. They have
Yes,
been under
heterosexual white
attack.
men. Yes.
So I think that we can actually start putting our color thing to the side and actually start looking at the bigger problem.
That's a middle ground.
Which is our government has been overran.
Yes.
There's no getting around it, man. I mean, it's either the corporations, whether it's the administration, whether it's the middle management, whatever you want to call it. Our country they're targeting men.
Yes.
Specifically straight males, whether you black, white, Hispanic, purple, green, Asian, don't matter. They're targeting us because we bring structure.
Yes.
I really believe that's why they're targeting us, because we bring structure.
One of the top women that's there, who happens to be a woman of color, and she brings in a lot of the diversity. One of the top to bring in, I don't want to say the alphabet community, but there's a presence there. It's not a man in that position that brings that level of diversity. It's a woman of color.
Now, let me ask you a question.
And don't come at me with, well, you're a woman of color. Right. And they knew what they were doing when they were hiring her. I'm sure they had some specific criteria for her.
Of course. And that right there is the problem. Man, Disney has turned out flop after flop after flop after flop.
I never saw Barbie or none of them, or the new Cinderella. Nobody asked you to remake that. Leave the old one back from the 40s and leave Whitney and Brandy. Nobody asked you.
Right. Well, I
didn't ask you.
I stopped watching Disney soon after Endgame.
Okay.
That was it. I mean, let's be real. The only reason why I went to see a Disney movie was because of Endgame. But even prior to that, I haven't been watching any Disney movies. First of all, Disney is supposed to be a family-oriented.
Which is why I said they're going to attract more of the people that they're targeting.
But are they really? Because, okay, so let's go to Captain Marvel. Okay. Captain Marvel. You don't even know about that movie. See, that's how
I know
not
Marvel. Marvel, like the comics and stuff, because that's our world and our family. The Marvel, those folks. But who's Captain Marvel?
Well, Captain Marvel. You know what? Captain Marvel is this movie.
It's a movie?
It's a movie
Yeah,
of a superhero.
Okay.
Okay, so I didn't go to see the movie.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to see the movie. The second I saw her, I was like, yeah, no. I'm not interested.
Her?
Yeah, Captain Marvel is a female.
Okay.
So, she's the equivalent of Superman from DC. Right?
Oh.
Like, she's this very powerful being and stuff like that. Don't get it twisted. There's nothing wrong with Captain Marvel's storyline. It's just that how they created this movie to be, right? It was very feminazi, I'm hearing.
Oh.
And it bombed.
Surprise, surprise.
The women that they expected to come to support this movie did not show up.
Right, because I don't think a woman of Marvel anything. I thought like Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder Woman. Yes,
that's
maybe.
about it.
But
and leave Storm where she's at. Like certain ones, but nobody asked us when you said Captain. I'm thinking Captain America, Captain who? Nobody asked you.
Yeah,
who asked you?
Right. Well, they're trying so hard to push female dominant roles down our throats.
Yep.
And I'm like, just write a decent character.
Right.
That's all.
Right.
Just write a decent character. Men don't care. We like boobs. We like tights. Listen, Black Widow still does it for me.
Oh.
Every time I think of Black Widow, I think about that one scene when she jumped or did some black flip and laying down like this, and she looking up at the guard about to beat him up. I can't stop looking at that one scene. That
Is
one
that
scene
right?
is like, ha, 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 ha. Because it's Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, I know.
And she's a badass every role she's ever been in.
Yeah, she's good.
So it's like the fact that you honestly believe that you got to push female roles down our throats, and then you get the most plainest female woman you can find to play Captain Marvel.
Right.
It's like, no. But back to what I was saying, I don't think America is going to stand for this much longer.
I think that for Disney, this right here is a really bad move.
Yes. It's even the worst move to get caught.
Yeah. I mean, he just singing like a canary, honey. Because a good majority of us, and I say us, just Americans in general, we're keenly aware of the agenda and the despicable behavior and ploys that Disney is known for, the underground, the things that they are involved in. Yeah. So the fact that that's common knowledge now more than it ever was before, and with the heightened prices of them tickets and the resorts and all of that, I just think that was a dumb move.
Yeah.
I think it was, financially speaking, I think that was really bad for business.
But see, this is what happens, right? We have these what do you call it?
Greed?
Woke individuals who are extremely proactive. I mean, they're super proactive because they have a mission to get the man, whoever the heck the man is, right? In this particular case, it ain't the white man anymore. So who the heck is the new man? I remember back in the day that we used to be able to go and say, Whitey is the problem.
Right.
Now we like, wait a minute, wait. Y'all
now y'all get rid of him?
You're discriminating against Whitey?
Like, right.
I can't even be mad at Whitey no more.
Goodness.
Wait a minute. Now I'm mad because you took away my one. I used
source
to be
of
able
hatred.
To look, I can't. Yes, my source of hatred gone.
Yeah.
So I'm like, who should I hate on now? I'm just like, this is not fair. I'm just joking.
No.
The point is that they are going against white straight men, and I really think this is a horrible horrible idea.
Yeah.
Because the last time I checked, white straight men are the most aggressive men on the face of the earth. If they really wanted to start some, they could.
Sure.
And
For sure.
I wouldn't be mad about it
Yeah.
because I understand where they're coming from. People got to understand that white American men are not the problem.
Right.
They're not the problem.
Right.
They're not the ones they're not the problem.
It's the machine.
The
It's
machine
the
is the
system.
problem. The system is the problem. It is designed for all of us.
Yes.
Anybody that seems like they're getting powerful, that system's coming for you.
Yes.
It's coming for you.
yeah, for
it's
sure.
coming for you with a lot of vigor
With a
because
vengeance.
it can't. They do not want you to get too strong. All right. And like I said earlier in this video, this right here is going to bring a whole lot of people together.
Yeah.
Because now you can't say that it's the white man holding
That's
the black
it.
man down.
Uh-huh.
You can't say that. Now you can say the corporations are
Yes.
holding the American man.
That's the big difference
down.
there.
And let me tell you something.
Woo! I feel it.
When power meets glory, oh, child. This is Gary Lamb signing off. LaToya Lamb.
Bye,
you
y'all.
guys have a good one.
He's just a common man.